Hey guys, welcome. Let me just get myself situated. I want a few more of you to pop on. And if somebody can just confirm that the sound check is good, because this is actually the first time I've been able to live stream from Google in like months. It's so weird. All of a sudden it works again. It hasn't worked in months. I didn't expect it to work, but okay, we're here. Okay, so hi guys, hi Janine, hi Marcy, hi Sarah. Of course, I forgot a piece of paper. Give me 1 second. I have to go get something. I'll be back. I'm here. I'm just getting something. Um, oh, I feel so discombobulated. I definitely feel discombobulated. I don't know why. Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. Hi, Deb Johnny. All right. So I am back, and my vacation wasn't it was a mixed bag. I got to be honest. It was a family trip, a family obligation that my sister and I lovingly took my father to Florida to visit his brother, my uncle Sal, who lives there, and my his cousin Biage, who moved there, and uh, his friend Vito, who moved there. So all the old Italian men, and my it was nice, but it didn't entirely feel like a full vacation. So I am really looking forward to my real vacation this summer. I'm supposed to be going to Italy for a couple of weeks, so that to me is going to be my real vacation, and I should have lots of fun there. I haven't been to Italy in 19 years, so I am looking forward to that. But anyway, thank you for asking. Yeah, but it's one of those things where you feel like you need a vacation after your vacation, and that's kind of how I feel right now. but but we have some really cool astrology to talk about. And so, okay, so I'm not going to talk about the new moon first. I'm actually going to talk about Pluto leaving Aquarius first because this is so relevant. Uh, and it's real life astrology, and it is happening to me, to you, to all of us. Pluto, the planet of complete decimation, yeah, that's a word, transformation, has been in Capricorn since 2008. And what's happening now is in a couple of days, on the 23rd, Pluto is entering Aquarius for the first time in hundreds of years. And that means Pluto is leaving Capricorn and where it's been since 2008. As you know, Pluto's only going to be in Aquarius for like a few weeks till June 10th, and then retrogrades back into Capricorn. But I want you guys to really observe what is happening in our world and in your life as Pluto hangs around this final critical anorectic degree, the 29th degree of Capricorn, because it is fascinating how astrology comes to life. Now, Capricorn, as you know, rules all of the structures in our life. And it rules governments, it rules institutions, it rules corporations, businesses, right? This is Capricorn. Pluto's job is to annihilate, destroy, and then you rebuild from it. You rebuild something, hopefully, that's better. Well, I thought that it was so fascinating. The day, I believe it was the day before, I was leaving to go to Florida. All over the news was that the whole thing about the bank, I'm forgetting the name of the bank. I think it was Signature Bank, just completely going out of business. And then there's another bank, a big international bank, I think, that might be going out of business as well. There's all this, the banking stuff. Banks going out of business. All of a sudden, people don't have their money. They have to make sure that, the FDIC is now giving them back their money and promising it. And there's all this crazy stuff happening with the big businesses that were working with the Signature Bank that had gone out of business. And so now, I don't pay too much attention to the news because, as you know, I really just like to live in my bubble. But I couldn't help but hearing about that. And what was so striking to me is that this is happening as Pluto is on the 29th degree of Capricorn, getting ready to shift into Aquarius. And when any planet, when any outer planet leaves one sign and goes into another sign, you really want to pay attention to what's happening in your environment, because you're going to have events that correlate with that energy. So this is the fact that the bank went out of business at this ingress of Pluto about to go into Aquarius. It does strongly suggest that when Pluto goes back to the 29th degree and then finishes up his tour in the 29th degree for the rest of 2023 until early 2024, we are going to see more of this happening, more banks going just kaput, out of business. But how this affected me personally, I don't bank with Signature Bank or the other bank, which I'm forgetting, that might be going out of business. It's not definitely out of business yet, but supposedly it's on the verge. I don't bank with these banks, but anybody who owns a home has homeowners insurance, right? You have to have homeowners insurance. Well, on the same day as this announcement was made, I get a letter in the mail from my homeowners insurance company that they have gone bankrupt. And all of a sudden, as of March 29th, I will have no homeowners insurance. And I was like, holy shit. How does that happen? That is a freaking disaster. Okay. I'm guessing millions of people who ever had this particular insurance company, which was UPC Insurance, homeowners insurance company, all in the same boat. We all got this letter and it's like, yeah, screw you. We're out of business. We're bankrupt. You have until March 29th to get new homeowners insurance because we're done. So right away, now I'm about to leave for Florida. Get on the phone with my insurance broker right away. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? What's going on? I need new homeowners insurance. I'm leaving for Florida. I need you to be on this for me. Stat, like, what is going on? So he was like, yeah, this company just went out of business. There's big problems. And all the people who are making claims, I feel bad for the people who have this insurance who needed to file claims through their homeowners insurance because they're not getting their money. They're having problems. For me, it was just a matter of changing insurance companies. But that turned out to be very challenging. And this is all reflective of Pluto at the anorectic degree of Capricorn now. Me and countless other people are experiencing this. So some people experienced it with the Signature Bank thing. Other people like myself have experienced this with, my homeowners insurance company going bankrupt and being left high and dry to find new insurance like that. And when many, many, many people are put in that position at the same time, what do you think happens? It becomes very difficult to secure homeowners insurance on such short notice at a reasonable price. So I was paying $1,400 a year for my homeowners insurance. And I don't know, depending on where you live, you may think that's high, you may think that's low. I don't know. I live in New York. So that was reasonable, I thought, $1,400 a year for my homeowner's policy. So I get a call back from my insurance broker when I get back from Florida. I'm really sorry. We have some bad news. In your county, I live in Suffolk County, Long Island. In your county, there are only 2 companies currently able to underwrite for homeowners insurance through this particular broker. And the lowest quote that we can get you is for $5,600 a year. I was like, that is absolutely insane. You're telling me that I have to cough up $5,600 for the same freaking homeowners insurance that I was getting for $1,400 a year just because that company went bankrupt and there's such a demand now and there's all these issues with the companies, the actual insurance companies scrambling to insure all these people. That is total bullshit. That's such a ripoff. And so I told my broker, thanks, but no thanks. I'll figure it out on my own. And I'm going to, call and make my calls and do my price comparisons and hope for the best. So then I said, okay, what am I going to do? Everybody else is doing this. I took the easy way out and I said, let me call my auto policy and see if I could do homeowners through them. Call my auto policy. Big policy. Okay. I'm using Geico. That's a very big company. And I said, all right, Geico, help me out. I need homeowners. What do you got? So since I'm an existing customer, they actually got me a policy, and the policy they got me, still a big jump in price. So again, I'm going from $1,400 a year to now it's $2,600 a year, which is still insane. That is still, to me, such a ridiculous jump just because my company went bankrupt. But it is a little more tolerable than $5,600 a year. And the Geico people said the same thing. It's because there are so many customers from UPC who are now scrambling to get insurance that they have to, it's just driving this market in a crazy way. And in any particular county or area, the underwriters are only allowed to insure a certain amount of households per quarter. And now it's like whoosh, craziness. So I said to the Geico broker, I was like, all right, I'm going to take this policy, even though I still feel like I'm getting ripped off just because I'm under a deadline. I will have no homeowners insurance in a few days if I don't do it. So I have to kind of suck it up. But then he was telling me how, then my old broker called me back later that day, apologizing. We were just bullshitting. And he was like, Geico, the company that I'm now insuring with, they're having problems with their auto policy ends. And they just dropped, I think he said 2 million customers from their auto policy because they are trying to reduce liability. So anybody who has bad driving records or who is too at risk, they're just dropping. So I'm listening to all of this happening around me from these big corporations, Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn at the final degree leaving. And I'm listening to all this saying, wow, this is some real life astrology. And I just had to get on here to talk to you guys about this because I want to know if any of you are going through anything similar connected to a big company that you work with financially, a big company that you work for. Okay. It's happening in the banking industry. It's happening in the insurance industry. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are being affected by this collectively. And that was my personal experience. And so I just thought it was crazy, absolutely crazy. And yet here we are. All astrologers, myself included, have been talking for months and months now about how March of 2023 is the pivotal turning point month for all of us energetically. Because now what is happening is Saturn already left Aquarius and went into Pisces. That's done. We have this Pluto entering Aquarius on the 23rd, about to happen. We also have a new moon in Aries at the Aries point, 0 degrees. Happy spring, everyone. To celebrate the vernal equinox with a new moon at the Aries point is quite phenomenal. That is ushering in really important new energy for all of us in our Aries house. And then Mars, which has been in Gemini for, I think, 8 months now, is about to enter Cancer on the 25th. So many astrological events happening in March that really do promise we're turning the page in our lives personally and also collectively. But at this moment, everyone that I talk to, myself included, is feeling this frustrating in-between stage. It's like in between the old world and the new world, the past and the future. And so we're in, oh my God, purgatory almost. Like that's the word that I want to use. Like it's like this limbo where we're neither in the past and we're not in the future. So I guess that means we have no choice but to be in the present moment and sit with it. And I think it's really interesting because I am promising everybody, my personal clients, my loved ones, family members, people, even myself, people who I know are going through big life transitions. I am telling everyone the same story, essentially, that at the end of March into April, there is a very big turning point. That's when the page gets turned for all of us. But today is the in between, right now. But this is the marker. Okay, so this is the day that I would say, since today is the new moon in Aries, this is the day that we are writing that last paragraph in the chapter of our lives that we're about to finish. And we are turning the page, and we are simultaneously, between today and tomorrow, writing the first paragraph of this brand new chapter. So I want you all to join me in sitting with that and understanding how powerful that is. It is really amazing energy. But it seems like some of you are feeling really good in the comments. Sarah's feeling really good. Some of you are feeling really angry. That's Glossy Chops. Some of you are having flashbacks of events that you blocked out for years, and hopefully you're doing that so that you can let that go and move forward. And it is just a really, really interesting time. So Deb Johnny is feeling in Queen of Swords mode, ready, just suspended and waiting on everything. And I kind of feel that too. I do feel that energy myself in my own life. And I was, so many things are happening in my life event-wise between March and July in my personal world and my career, all that. And it's like, wow, all of this is definitely symbolizing that new start. But we're still kind of stuck on the last legs of an ending. And that is a reflection, I believe, of Pluto still at that very end of Capricorn, about to go into Aquarius. So hopefully I make some sense to you guys. And on that note, there are a lot of my level 3 members here. So before I take your questions, I want to just tell all of you who are maybe joining for the first time, I forgot to say welcome. I just went right into my astrology, and I do want to welcome you. I appreciate you guys being here. If you like the content on my channel, please hit that subscribe button, click that like button so that more people can get this astrology content. And if you are someone who wants more of my astrology content here on my YouTube channel, consider joining as a member. The level 3 members not only get all of extra video content that just subscribers can't get, but you get access to me as your personal astrologer during selective live streams that I do. And so if you want to join, you click that join button through YouTube, not my website. Do not go to insightfulastrology.com unless you want to join my website. That's a different service. Right now with these live streams, you have to join YouTube as a level 3 member, and this is through YouTube only. And when you do that, you'll get access to all that extra video content that you can see is available, and webinars that you can see are available. And you give me your date, time, and location of birth in the comments. I will be able to see on my platform that you've become a level 3 member, Astro Master member here. And then I will take a couple of your questions. So, Ness, you said you just joined, but I see nothing indicating that you joined. So I don't know if you went to my website and joined that. That's a different platform. So you will have to sort that out. And if you want to join on YouTube, go ahead and do that now. But for my level 3 members, a bunch of you are on. If you guys can just go in some kind of an order, if some of you have questions and you want me to look at your chart, I'm happy to look at your chart right now and do a quick 1 question answer. And remember, when I do this service, I am only looking at your transits. I'm not looking at your progressions and your solar arcs and everything as we would in a proper consultation. This is a quick one question thing. Okay, so Marcy wants to know how the new moon will affect you. And oh, and by the way, guys, keep in mind there is an interesting correlation between the new moon that we're having today and then the solar eclipse that we're having on April 19th into the 20th, because they are both in the sign Aries. Today's new moon is at 0 degrees, the very beginning, but next month we're having an actual solar eclipse at 29 degrees, 55 minutes or something like that of Aries. So there is this interesting continuation, I think, of this brand new start, but it's really going to be pressurized when we get to the eclipse energy for your Aries house. So for you, Marcy, it is conjunct your Mercury in your 7th house of partnership. And I do think that this speaks to an opportunity for you to have that brand new beginning of initiating an important conversation with your spouse or partner. Could also be in a business sense, but this may also be an opportunity for your husband to initiate an important new conversation or contract in business. And it looks very promising. So that's what this new moon says for you. But also, remember, this is your chart. Mercury happens to be in your partnership sector, but Mercury is your Mercury placement. So if you have an important conversation or a decision to make with your husband after this new moon, broach the conversation, talk about the issue, and you should be able to reach an agreement. So that looks pretty good. Okay. So who else here wants to ask a question? You must be a level 3 member, and I am able to see that on my end. And so Janine, let's get you. Janine, my love. Oh my gosh. I feel like we're always talking about the same thing for you. You really, really want a love relationship, and I get it. So this new moon is on your 6th house side, not the 7th house. So the eclipse next month is what you're asking about. That's at 29 degrees. That is in your 7th house of partnership. And I will tell you that the eclipse, while it all it does for you in your chart is it falls in your 7th house of partnership. So there is this brand new energy that wants to come out. But if you haven't already started a relationship with whatever previous cycles we talked about in past months, if you haven't met somebody new, if you're not dating someone, then that eclipse by itself is unlikely to just create a new relationship. Because remember, your 5th house has to be activated. You've got to meet someone, start dating them. 7th house energy, maybe this is good for you to initiate a new business connection or some kind of new partnership dynamic. If you work with clients, let's say, okay, something entrepreneurial in that respect, that's a possibility. But I'm really not seeing that as being strong enough on its own to bring you a new relationship and connection. Okay. So Sarah, I didn't see your question. I'm sorry. And Stephen, welcome as an Astro Seeker member. You do get some free video content as an Astro Seeker member. That is level 1. But if you do want me to look at your chart and answer a question on a live stream, you do have to upgrade to the level 3, which is the Astro Master. You could do that right now, and I'll be able to see that. And then you could give me your birth data. So Sarah, your question was, what's happening in my chart to do with love in the next couple of weeks? Sarah. Okay, so Ness, like I said, you have to join here on YouTube. You joined the wrong platform. Insightful Astrology is my website, and you get other things on that. Whatever you joined, you're getting free video content accessible through my website. You're not getting benefits through the YouTube channel. That's different. So you have to click the join button here on YouTube and join here at the level 3 if you want me to look at your chart. Okay. And then, okay, so I'm looking for Sarah's chart. And so Sarah's started dating someone new, and you want to know what's going on. Things are going well. Could this be the real deal? Could be. Let's see. So, what I like, okay. Oh, wait, no, I'm on the wrong chart. I'm sorry. I'm on somebody named Michelle, not Sarah. No, wrong chart. Okay. Let's get you, Sarah. um, so, okay. What I like is that I can see that Jupiter in May, well, Jupiter's going to go into Taurus, but it's not going to get into your fifth house for a while. I think that right now, Jupiter, your ruling planet, because it is making so many nice aspects to all of your Sagittarius planets, this is a nice run. This is something that's very positive for you, and I want you to enjoy it. The particular energy over the next 2 weeks is not really saying anything specific about your love life situation, but there's nothing bad to talk about. I think that the new moon that we're having, it's it's in Aries, but it's widely trining your Mercury, which is the ruler of your partnership sector, but it's a little bit too far. So I don't really see anything compelling, but that's not bad. Okay, don't misunderstand that, because I'm not seeing anything that's saying, all right, it's about to go to shit or things are not going well. There's nothing like that showing up for you. So yeah, there's really not much I could add. It's the kind of thing where I would say keep exploring this relationship and see where it goes. And then a very big, interesting turning point for you in love might start to happen when we get to Jupiter going into your fifth house, which is not going to happen until the end of July, early August. Uranus is already there. But I would say explore it. Definitely just keep exploring it and see where it goes. Okay. So let's see. I see Empress just joined. Thank you for your membership, Empress. Let me get your chart in here. Okay. Empress is your birth data 9/28, 1988, 9/28, 1988, 7:47 p.m. And in Washington, D.C. Okie doke. Just give me a second to get your chart up, and then I'll have it here. 7:47 p.m. All right, so I see a 28-degree, 46-minute Aries rising, Empress, in your birth chart. And your name is Janae. Okay, so nice to meet you, Janae. So what is your question? What is your question? I'm just waiting for Empress to type her question. So I need a specific question. You need to ask me something specific because we have to keep it moving. And so Ness, no, I'm sorry, I can't accept that. It has to be through the membership. You have to do it that way. So if you're not able to do it today, hopefully you'll be able to join us next time. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't accommodate you. I just can't. So let me see. I'm just waiting. How will the new moon affect me? Okay, so the new moon for you is going to be conjunct your Mars placement. Now you have Mars in Aries, which is in its own domicile. So it's a very strong Mars. But what's so interesting about your Mars placement is that it is both retrograde and it is placed in the hidden 12th house. So that could make it a little bit harder for you to express that the warrior like energy in an outward way. I'm not going to say that it drowns it, but it definitely subdues it, and it internalizes that energy and focus. It spiritualizes it for you. So I would say that you are very passionate about your spiritual pursuits. It's like you're a spiritual warrior. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting with your Mars in Aries in the 12th house and retrograde. It's spiritual warrior energy. And so with the new moon making a conjunction to Mars, which is also your chart ruler, it is stimulating something for you personally where behind the scenes, internally, in your own psyche, you are aching and there's a driving force to start something new, a new project, a new something new physically for yourself, maybe some new goal that you want to achieve. And it's going to be very interesting for you because between this new moon and then the eclipse next month, you are very much about to start an important new cycle in your life, because this new moon is triggering Mars, your chart ruler, but the eclipse next month is exactly on the degree of your ascendant. And so both of these lunations in Aries are very much tied to your birth chart. So you're going to feel this turning the page energy. But for you, very specifically, I'm getting it as this spiritual warrior wanting to start something new with your inner soul strength. And that is not the same as, pushing, taking action in an aggressive way, but you're going to start internally. And then when we get to the eclipse next month, you're then going to be able to walk that in an actionable way externally, if that makes sense. So just tell me if this makes sense for whatever you're, going through in your life, whatever you're experiencing now. It is a very powerful, powerful energy for you. And so, okay. Yeah, Ness, it is from a computer. That's what I've been told. For some reason, phones and iPads don't usually work. The join button is not available, so you have to do it from a computer. So, all right. So I hope that was helpful, Janae. And I think I'm not seeing any more comments or questions. Una, I see you. Do I have your chart, Una, or is this the first time that you've been able to join us on a live stream? Because I do need you to give me your date, time, and location of birth if you do have a question. Okay? So I'm just going to hang around for another minute or two because I know that you're from a different part of the world. I can't remember if you said Finland or where. So Orchidea, you defended a PhD and passed, but stuck on finishing administrative stuff. Okay, well, stay hopeful and congratulations on defending your PhD. That's a huge accomplishment. That's really huge. Good for you. Okay, so Una, let me get your birth information in. We have March 30th, 3/30. What year? I need to know your year of birth, my dear. So I can't put anything else in until you give me the year. (1972) at 11:55 a.m. And you are going to be my last question. Okay. So Oslo, Norway. All right. Oslo, Norway. And what is your question? Or did you type it already? I don't see a question from you. Well, Pluto's not going to your 7th house for a while. I know you said that. Pluto's not going into, you have a 5-degree, 59-minute Leo rising, according to this birth chart. And your 7th house cusp then is 5 degrees, 59 minutes of Aquarius. So Pluto's actually not going to cross your 7th house cusp for a couple of years. That is finishing up in your 6th house. And Empress is saying, yes, this resonates. I'm currently feeling that energy and having trouble with accepting that others may not accept my spiritual side. Oh, that is so interesting. I really strongly got this feeling of you being a spiritual warrior and being ready to come out of the closet as this spiritual warrior. But this whole month is that process for you. And I think it fully begins with this new moon. And then the eclipse next month is like you next leveling it. So good for you. That's going to be a very interesting journey. And, I have Aries rising like you. And, I definitely feel sometimes that I have to fight to be who I am. And I think you're experiencing something like that as well. So, Una, what is your question? I'm just taking your birth chart in. The new moon for you, I will tell you, is conjunct your midheaven. So yes. In whole sign, yes. So here's my methodology as a professional astrologer with whole sign versus Placidus. So I am a modern Western astrologer, but I have also studied Hellenistic astrology. So I am able to blend both techniques. And what I have found so far in my experience and experimental practice of blending traditional techniques with modern techniques is that for me as an astrologer, when I am doing predictive work with transits, secondary progressions, solar arc directions, using the Placidus house system gives me the most accuracy for my clients, for myself, for my loved ones. When whole sign houses becomes important for me is I do see the value in looking at a birth chart from both the whole sign and the Placidus perspective, but you have to choose one when you're doing a natal consultation for someone. So when I am doing my consultation work, analyzing your birth chart, and doing predictive work, I use the Placidus because the Placidus house system gives very specific degrees of each house cusp besides the angles. And if you have a correctly timed birth chart, what that then does is it allows you to observe the transits of planets from each house and to check those sensitive degrees, like your fifth house cusp, for example, or your ninth house cusp, and to see, well, what happens when transiting Saturn moves from one of those planets to the next. And I invite you to experiment with this, Una, because Saturn is in Pisces right now. And according to your Placidus chart, you have a 6-degree, 7-minute ninth house cusp of Pisces. So you should actually be experiencing transiting Saturn, leaving your 7th house in the Placidus chart and going into your 8th house in May. In May of 2023, specifically on May 12th. So May 12th is this energetic transition for you where Saturn will first say, hey, how you doing, to your 9th house? And I want you to observe, well, are you feeling any shifts of Saturn leaving the 8th house, going into the 9th house? How is that affecting you? Write it down in your astrology journal. Observe it scientifically, actually, in your experience, in your actual life experience. And then you're going to consider, well, Saturn will actually retrograde back into your 8th house in mid to late July. It'll go back into your 8th house and it's going to stay there and finish up your 8th house and then go back into your 9th house full time at the very end of January 2024. So this is a very good test study for yourself to see what I'm talking about and to observe and experience it. Now, the way that I use Hellenistic techniques is only when I am working with annual perfections or zodiacal releasing. And that is when I use a whole sign chart, because you must use the whole sign chart when you are doing ancient predictive technique work. So when I am looking at someone's annual perfections or zodiacal releasing. And at this point, I'm only doing that during personal consultations when my client requests it. So that is when I am switching. And that's the only time that I'm switching to whole sign houses. It's just for those specific techniques. Oh, that was Sarah that asked the question. Okay, sorry. So Una, your question was any ideas? I went off on a tangent with your chart, but I did it for a reason because I want to explain all this to everybody. But your actual question was any ideas for how Pluto will act in the last deferred in the sixth. And so I do think that you want to pay attention to the next couple of years to see are there any. I think it's actually going to be very positive for you because in your chart, Pluto, what it is going to be doing is engaging in a conjunction with your North Node of Destiny, which is also in your second house. I mean, your sixth house. Sorry, and I'm looking at about 2 degrees 49 minutes of Aquarius, and so Pluto conjunct the North Node of Destiny is a powerful transit because you are often presented with powerful changes and people show up into your life that have the influential power to help you accelerate your soul growth and your soul's destiny in this lifetime. So for you, that may have to do with health care matters. It may have to do with healing and you being a healer for others. It may have to do with your daily work and your routine and scheduling, or it may have to do with you meeting a powerful helper in your life, somebody who is going to work for you and help you in a very significant way. And that is something that, although you're probably not going to feel that this year, you are definitely going to feel next year because in 2024, that's when you're going to get the exact conjunction to your North Node of Destiny. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. And you met your ex-husband when Saturn was in the ninth last time. Oh, that is interesting. Saturn is the traditional ruler of your seventh house of partnership. So that is pretty interesting for sure. Okay. So now I want to thank you guys for joining me on the live stream and listening to my astrological banter. Heather, you just tuned in and your insurance rate went up $50 a month. I think for auto, everything is going up with all these corporations. And it's because the actual industry is breaking down. And that's what we have to realize. The insurance industries, these banking industries, they're breaking down. The structures of them have already broken down. That already happened. But now that Pluto's at the anorectic degree, we are starting to see the effects of that in a very physical way in external events in our lives. Okay. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Please remember to click that like button, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.